In today's video, I travel to Maryborough, where I find the most beautiful public toilet in the world and discover the town's connection with everyone's favourite nanny, Mary Poppins. I have a whale of a time in Hervey Bay, get up close and personal with dolphins, and delve into the rich heritage of the town of Childers. I've come to the city of Maryborough to see a toilet. But this is not just any toilet. This may well be Australia's most beautiful toilet. It's so beautiful, they called it the Cistern Chapel. So let's go to the toilet. I was busting to see this. There's art on all the walls, even up on the ceiling. This beautiful space is the ladies'. Remember, this is a public toilet. This is a parenting room. Apparently when I go in, bird sounds start. Let's see. Oh my goodness. There's art and beauty absolutely everywhere. This is fabulous. These flowers are real. The local horticultural society come in every week and put in fresh flowers. Let's have a peek inside. And yes, they are working public toilets. If you need to go, there are toilets here. And wait for it, there's even a golden throne room. Oh my goodness. And that is a working toilet. Let me show you. Oh my goodness, I've just noticed there's even a chandelier here. With all this art, I was feeling a little pooped, but undeterred, I pushed on. That was the ladies. Now I'm going to wander into the men's.
So this is the first steam engine built in Queensland.
So this is what the urinal looks like. So you can pee with Apollo looking over. You'll be flush with success. And the art goes all the way up the wall, right up over the ceiling as well. Let me show you that. And the toilet itself has a nautical theme, which is a nod to Hervey Bay just up the road. So this project came about because some locals came in here to the toilets attached to Town Hall and they were pretty manky. And somebody decided we needed to change. So an arts collective wandered through town with an actual toilet bowl and ultimately collected more than $40,000 to finance this. So it's all put together by local artists, and it's fabulous. I think this is one of the nicest and fun things I've seen on my travels. The Cistern Chapel in Maryborough. One of the other significant things about Maryborough is this is the birthplace of P.L. Travers. Who was P.L. Travers? She wrote Mary Poppins. And this town has a statue to her. Not only that, but have a look at the traffic lights. They've got Mary Poppins traffic lights. That is so cool. And right on the corner of Kent and Richmond Streets, they've got a statue of the much loved Mary Poppins. And why is it in this spot? It's in this spot because she was born just upstairs here. There's a bank here and her father was the bank manager. So she was born upstairs at the bank. Travers was born here as Helen Wyndham Gough, and then her family moved to England in the 1920s, and as she grew up she took the writer's name of P.L. Travers. In 1934 she released the first of a 6-part Mary Poppins series about a magical, no-nonsense nanny. The town celebrates Mary Poppins in so many ways, including an annual Mary Poppins festival. And in the Mary Poppins festival, lots of locals get dressed up in Edwardian era clothes and just celebrate the life of P.L. Travers and the wonderful fictional character of Mary Poppins. It's great. And the bank where she was born is now a museum paying homage to Poppins, Travers and storytelling. So this is the Story Bank, which is an interactive museum all about P.L. Travers and Mary Poppins. Hello. It's actually P.L. Travers talking about inspiration. They've done a beautiful job of recreating her writing room. They've taken the bank's vault and turned it into a place where you can store stories. That's beautiful. So the Story Bank, really lovely place to bring your little ones. That was fun. Now Maryborough is on the Mary River, and it grew up because there was gold found in nearby Gympie, and the only way to get the gold out of Gympie was to bring it here, and tall ships would come up the river and take it away. It also became a major immigration point for people coming to the goldfields and further afield. And apparently at one point Maryborough was being considered to be the capital of Queensland. That ended up going to Brisbane, but in the 1880s they were thinking about doing it here, and then the Mary River flooded and that put an end to that. The Maryborough is filled with beautiful Victorian architecture, art, stories, and dare I say it, magic. Maryborough has this beautiful post office behind me from 1866, and I guess in the old days, once you dropped off your mail, you go over the road to the almost equally as impressive pub, the Post Office Hotel. So this behind me is the bond store. Apparently, as goods were unloaded from the ships in the river behind there, they were put into the bond store and they weren't released unless you paid your taxes. Typical. So this wharf precinct all around me would have been so busy with people and goods and gold. It was a pretty major port back in the 1880s. This is the former Engineer Arms Hotel from 1870. And look at the angled veranda, that's really cool. It's now been turned into a dolls museum. Definitely has a creepy vibe, and I'm not surprised that they claim it's Australia's largest haunted dolls museum. I don't know, they claim to be paranormal investigators, but the sign here says due to unforeseen circumstances, it's closed until further notice. Shouldn't they have seen those circumstances? And it's a funky little town with street art hidden away in tiny little alleys that you probably wouldn't even know existed, like this one. Well, I really enjoyed Maryborough. The cistern chapel is a great idea. I love it. Let's go check out some beach now. We're heading off to Hervey Bay. Hervey Bay is a city. There's about 65,000 people live here, plus tourists, but it still has a feel like a little country town on the sea. It's pretty relaxed, nothing happens in a hurry, but you got all the amenities of a city. It's a nice little place. It's a shallow sandy bay, so when they built this pier they had to make it 1 kilometre long so they could get out into deeper water, so they could then transport goods from train up the pier to ships in the deeper water. Now Hervey Bay is well known as a place to come for whale watching, as the whales have their annual migration from the Southern Ocean all the way up to Port Douglas and then back down the east coast of Australia again. That happens, I think, from winter through to November. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the season now, so I don't think we'll be seeing any whales today. Not real ones, anyway. Here in Hervey Bay, they seem to be a little bit obsessed with giant whale statues. This one's just outside the Regional Arts Centre. It's called Jared the Giant Whale. This one's made out of timber and metal, and as far as giant things go, it's actually pretty impressive. This is Dundowran Beach, just north of Hervey Bay, and it's a vast beach. Vast beach, probably goes for a good 5 kilometres. The tide's way out, so you're not really going to get a swim right now. The main beaches at Hervey Bay are Scarness and Torquay beaches. Let's go and check them. This is Scarness Beach. As you can see, the tide's out. You have to go for quite a walk if you want to have a swim. And this is Torquay Beach, which I think is the main beach here. But the tide's way out, so maybe let's just go wander through the slush and see what we find. I can see little tiny fish. Can't see any crabs. I thought there might be some crabs and shellfish wandering around, but can't see them. If you want to book a whale watching tour or a boat over to Fraser Island, or just hang out, look at the boats in the marina, have a drink, have a coffee, even watch movies, then the boat club's the place you need to go to. Or if you're like me, you can just have a coffee and admire the boats that I'll never be able to afford. The next day I travelled down the coast to the beautiful fishing village of Tinkham Bay. Today I've come to Tinkham Bay because this is where they feed wild dolphins. These dolphins have been coming here for more than 40 years, so over a number of generations, mothers, grandmothers, probably even great-grandmothers have been coming here and being hand-fed by people. This is Barnacle's Cafe Dolphin Feeding Centre, where it all happens. The dolphins come in around about 8 o'clock, but I can already see they're here. And it's only 6:30. They're keen. They must be hungry.
Late Aussie, she's 18, and she also has a 2.5-year-old cub. I have Sam and Donna down in the water.
We've got 7 dolphins that are coming today. They're all part of one family group, and you've got 3 generations right here. These dolphins have been coming in since the 1950s. So over many, many generations, they just learned to come in. And I love how one of them brought a gift of coral. That's actually a natural phenomenon. That's what they do. If a male wanted to impress a female, they'd give them a gift. They're giving a gift here in return for a fish. These are wild dolphins. They come in of their own choice. They're monitored and cared for by a whole crew of volunteers who do an excellent job.
Mary's been playing with the sharks there. These two have a bit of niggly going on. Some days they like each other and they'll sit side by side. Other days, Harmony just does the big bully thing and goes, you know what?
After learning all about the dolphins, it was my turn to feed one of them.
We tell them, is it a birthmark on the back there?
There you go, little darling.
Oh, you got a kiss as well. How's that?
Yeah, we're good old friends.
She's got a little calf, so she comes in and out.
Yeah.
That's why she's right. Yes, here we go.
Beautiful.
Want to go another?
And this is 42-year-old Ella. And you're lucky. 42-year-old Ella.
Another kiss. Checking his butt. There you go. And she's going to go out to the calf.
Thanks so much.
One for her, one for the baby.
That's great. Thank you. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. She's so gentle too. That was really lovely. The dolphins are so gentle. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. I did go to the dolphin feeding at Monkey Mire over in WA. That was really busy, really touristy, and I think only 3 people got to feed the dolphins. Here, anybody can feed them. You just buy a little ticket and you can go in and hand feed the dolphins. It's really beautiful. Really recommend coming to Tin Can Bay for that. Next I've come to the town of Childers on the Bruce Highway. This town was established in the 1880s. It's a farming district. They grow sugarcane, fruit and vegetables, but it's best known for its beautiful heritage buildings. And it's really lovely to see that a lot of these old shops are still in use. This is the old Childers Courthouse, still in use today. As are the post office and the bank. This is the Grand Hotel, which was established in 1892. A lot of these hotels, I'm sure, have some pretty good stories. This one has its resident spirit, Luke the Spook, a dapper man in Edwardian costume. He's been seen wandering around the halls and the bars of this hotel. Apparently he gambled, accrued some debts, and either jumped or was pushed off the hotel balcony. I love the old lattice work on the hotel up there, and also the saloon doors on the front bar.
It was really funny when we first met.
What was healthcare like back in those old days? Come to the old pharmacy to find out. So this shop actually was a working pharmacy in the 1890s. After the last pharmacist passed away, everything was put in storage, but it's been brought back out and re-established the way it used to be. It's really fascinating. A lot of ingredients used in those days for health purposes that are pretty much banned these days. Oh my goodness. This is a little tribute to Chad Morgan, who was one of the old pioneers of country music in Australia, had a big hit with the Chic of Scrubby Creek. He was known for his silly hat, buck teeth, and amusing songs. I don't think Chad Morgan was born here, but and he travelled around an awful lot because he was a troubadour. But he says in his biography he always considered Childers as his home, and he came back here often and performed in these local pubs pretty often too. Behind me is the Palace Hotel. One of the worst cases of arson in Australia's history happened right here. Because this is a farming district, then a lot of backpackers and people with working holiday visas would come here and work for short periods on the farm. They would need somewhere to stay, and the Palace was a popular place for backpackers. But in the year 2000, somebody set fire to this hotel and 15 people perished. It was one of the worst cases of arson in Australia's history. The perpetrator was caught and is now serving a life sentence, but 15 young people sadly came to Childers and never left. The hotel was rebuilt in 2002, and there's a memorial here to those who died in that fire. How's this beautiful old theatre? This was established in 1927. It's gorgeous. enjoyed this part of the Fraser Coast, Maryborough, Hervey Bay Childers. It's been beautiful. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Oh, the bells. I was about to talk. In the year 2000, somebody... So Maryborough is filled with beautiful... what am I saying? Like I was crossing the road, a car came from around the corner, I was almost across the road, and then it sped up straight at me. I literally had to jump at the last second, or else I'd be under the car right now.